Anyone who has accepted the true lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya can understand the true essence of devotional service. If one is captivated by the pleasing pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, the dirty things in his heart will all become cleansed. Jai Gaura One who simply takes the holy name of Gaura Sundara, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, will immediately develop love of God. To such a person I say, bravo, very excellent, very nice. If one appreciates the merciful pastimes of Lord Chaitanya and feels ecstasy and sometimes cries, this process will immediately help him to understand the eternal pastimes of Radha Krishna. Gaurangera Samhitane Nitya Simhatori Mare Gaurangera Samhitane Nitya Simhatori Mare Chitaya Chera Sutapa Chitaya Chera Sutapa Chivajani Chintamare Shri Gauramadava Bhumi Chivajani Chintamare Shri Gauramadava Bhumi Chivajani Chintamare Shri Gauramadava Bhumi Chivajani Chintamare Simply by understanding that the associates of Lord Gauranga are eternally free from material contamination, one can immediately be promoted to the transcendental abode of Lord Krishna. If one simply understands that the land of Navadvip is not different from Vrindavan, then he actually lives in Vrindavan. Gaura mera samave sitaram jivado. If one says, let me dive deep into the waves of the nectarian ocean of the transcendental loving movement introduced by Lord Chaitanya, he immediately becomes one of the confidential devotees of Radha and Krishna. It does not matter whether one is a householder living at home, or a vanaprastha, or a sannyasi living in the forest. If he chants, O Gauranga, and becomes a devotee of Lord Chaitanya, then Narottam Das begs to have his association. Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama So there's a very famous verse which we have been quoting lately in, this, in the lectures. Krishna Varnam Tvisa Krishnam Sangopannastra Parisaram Yatyai Sankirtana Praya Yachanti Sumerasa. So which explains, this is Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.32, which explains that in this age of Kali, an intelligent person worships the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly is chanting the holy names of the Lord, and this incarnation appears with his associates, weapons, and confidential companions. So this refers to, of course, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he always, whenever he appears with his associates. He doesn't appear alone. So this time he had very high associates, namely Panchatattva. Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupagam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam, or Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Kadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. So these personalities are one way or another mentioned in both of these verses. And first verse translation is, "Let me offer my obeisances unto Lord Shri Krishna, who has manifested himself in 5 as a devotee, an expansion of devotee, incarnation of a devotee, pure devotee, and devotional energy." So Krishna himself appeared as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Shri Krishna, he manifests himself as his own devotee. Like I mentioned earlier, just to taste the love that his own devotee, pure devotee, Srimati Radharani has for him. So in this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in a mood of Srimati Radharani. And he also brought the Yuga Dharma for this age, Harinam Sankirtan, and this method is so easy that there is no previous qualifications needed. So anybody can start chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. And therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is considered very munificent. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Tvisaya Namaha. O most munificent incarnation, you are Krishna himself, appearing as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You have assumed a golden color of Srimati Radharani, and you are widely distributing pure love of Krishna. We offer our respectful obeisances unto you. So, of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement spread even outside of India, all over the world. So therefore, we feel very lucky here in the Western world that we have an access for wonderful purification of our existence from this miserable material world. and in this way have the access to the highest form of religious activity. So this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was spreading freely love of Godhead to everybody. And then there's so he was Krishna himself. And then there's Lord Nityananda, who is considered as an expansion of devotee. Now, Balaram is the first expansion of Krishna. This is what the Vedic philosophy explains us, that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and first expansion from him is Balaram. And then Balaram himself expands to Mahasankarshan, Chaturvyuha, Karanodakasai Vishnu, Karborakasai Vishnu, and Kshirodakasai Vishnu. These kind of expansions emanate from Balaram. And Balaram is also considered at the same time as he is Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is also the Supreme Personality of Servitor Godhead. So he has a service relationship towards Krishna. And Narottam Das Thakur further sings in another song. Brajendra Nandana Je Sachi Suta Hoilo Shei Balaram Hoilo Nitai. So this explains that Brajendra Nandana, Braja Indra Nandana. Braja Indra is Krishna's father, Nanda Maharaj, and Nanda Nandana is son of Nanda, Brajendra Nandana. And so Krishna is, this refers to Krishna. He is the Nanda Maharaj's son, and he has appeared of Sachi Sutta Hoilosei, son of Sachi, Mother Sachi, who appeared, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in Navadvip town. So Sachi Sutta, Mother Sachi was his mother. And Balaram Hoilo Nitai. So Balaram appeared as Nityananda. So to get Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, you need the mercy of Lord Nityananda. Because of this great connection between Balaram and Krishna and Nityananda and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was giving instructions to Lord Nityananda, and especially Lord Nityananda and Haridas Thakur, to go and spread the Sankirtan movement, to request everybody to chant the holy names of the Lord. So Lord Nityananda and Haridas Thakur, they went to do what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu requested them, and therefore they met all kinds of people. Some were favorable, some were not so favorable, and example of those unfavorable personalities were Jagai and Madai. Jagai and Madai were born in a Brahmin family, but due to bad association, they got contaminated, and their actual names were Jagadananda and Madhavananda. But because of their ill behavior, their position was somewhat mitigated in the society, and therefore their reputation was not very good. And then they come and then they meet Lord Nityananda and Haridas Thakur. And Lord Nityananda begs them to chant Hare Krishna. But these very ill-behaved brothers, they were just chasing Lord Nityananda and Haridas Thakur away. Then when Lord Nityananda approached them another time, then one of them, Madhavananda or Madai, he got so angry that he had a pot uh, and he hit with his pot Lord Nityananda's head. And Lord Nityananda started bleeding. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard of this incident and immediately he rushed to the spot and he was ready to give a great punishment to Madai. And he went his finger up and he said, Chakra! He was ready to kill Madai. But the Lord Nityananda, uh, he begged Lord Chaitanya that please don't kill this person. Uh, Please give them a chance. You have promised that you are not going to kill anybody. Now, when Krishna came in this world, he was killing a lot of demons. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also was about to go to that same path, but because of Lord Nityananda's mercy, uh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu changed his mind. So Jagai and Madai, they were saved by Lord Nityananda. And then they became very good citizens. They started to do some welfare work. They constructed a bathing cart. In Mayapur, there is still a place which is known as Jagai Madai Ghat. So even though these two brothers were so ill-behaved before, so due to association of Lord Nityananda's mercy, they got the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the next personality of Panchatattva is Advaita Acharya. Now, Advaita Acharya is an incarnation of Lord's devotee. Uh, he is like an incarnation of Mahavishnu or Sadashiva. He creates the cosmic world. So the word Advaita means non-different or non-dual, which actually means that Advaita Acharya is non-different from the Lord. And Acharya refers to the idea that he is propagating Krishna consciousness. Actually, one of the reasons why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared was that the Advaita Acharyas was calling out loudly. He was the Lord to appear. On the bank of Ganges, he was worshipping his Salagram Shila with tulsi leaves, and he was begging the Lord to come because he saw that the world was going more and more into intellectual atheism. So therefore, he requested the Lord to appear to turn the heads of the misdirected society. So Advaita Acharya appeared in this in Gaura Lila, Gaura's pastimes, as a very elderly person. He was a teacher of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's elder brother. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was young, he was called Vishwambar. He got the name Vishwambar, and his elder brother was Vishwarupa. And so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Vishwambar, he had so much respect of this elderly Advaita Acharya. So much so that Advaita Acharya actually knew who Vishwambar or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was. So he didn't. He was embarrassed that he was getting respect from the Supreme Lord himself. So he made a trick. He started teaching Mayavada philosophy in public. And therefore, our Gaura Sundara, he heard about this and he rushed towards Advaita Acharya. And while Advaita Acharya was giving a class about impersonalism, Gaura Sundara started, he grabbed him and beat him. And he was really angry at Advaita Acharya, so much so that Advaita Acharya's uh, wife, Sita Thakurani, she was also crying. She was crying. He's an old man. You will kill him if you beat him so badly. So and then Advaita Acharya, he was just laughing and he was uh, uh, he announced that now we have come to the real position or real understanding of our positions. That I am simply your servant and you are superior to me. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Vishwambar, he became a little bit more sober. That he understood that he had been tricked. Then the next person in Panchatattva is Karadhar Pandit, which represents devotional energy. Now, Radharani is the inner pleasure potency of Krishna, and and also closest associate to Radharani is Lalita Sakhi, and she's always devoted to Srimati Radharani. Now, Karadhar Pandit is considered as an incarnation of both Radharani and Lalita Sakhi. And Karadhar Pandit represents a perfect Brahmana. He's very sober by nature, and he's a very learned scholar. Now, Karadhar Pandit and Gaura Sundara, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they were childhood friends. They grew up in the same area, went to the same schools, and they were close friends. Now, if you go to Navadvip, to any of the Gaudiya tradition temples, you can see that they are instead of Gaura Nitai like we have here, there are many times Gaura Garadhar. So they are worshipping Gauranga and Garadhar together. And as we in the morning we have a Mangalarti program here. We are chanting, we are singing Guru Astakam prayers. So in many of the Gaudiya temples, they are chanting Vale Gaura Gadadhare Arati Nehari Nadiya Purava Bhave Jao Bodhidhari. That is Bhaktivinoda Thakur's song about Gauranga and Gadadhar. And lastly, there's also one more member of Panchatattva, Srivas Thakur, and he's an incarnation of the pure devotee, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Nityananda, and Advaita Acharya. These three of them, they are considered Vishnu Tattva, and Karadhar Pandit belongs to the realm of Shakti Tattva, and then Srivas Thakur is an incarnation of Narada Muni. He belongs to Jiva Tattva, like an ordinary human being who is a pure devotee. Now, Srivas Thakur's whole family were kind of saintly, very saintly, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to have his nocturnal kirtans inside in Srivas Thakur's house. Like in the middle of the night, they were chanting and crying out the name of the Lord very loudly. And this occasion was only for the selected pure devotees. Not everybody could enter. sometimes there was some uh, person who was not qualified to be in those kirtans, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately felt it, and he was asking, who is here who is not qualified to enter this kirtan? And because devotees are so humble, all of them thought that, oh, maybe I have so bad qualities that I'm not eligible to be in this kirtan. But then they found some random person trying to enter Srivas Thakur Prabhu's kirtan. So, so these personalities are Panchatattva. Uh, I think I try to recap a little bit of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's birth and youth, as today is his appearance day. First of all, I have to admit that I didn't have so much time to prepare for this class, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in a Purnima day, and there was a moon eclipse. Purnima means full moon, and then there was a moon eclipse. So this was considered very inauspicious, and therefore all the local inhabitants in Navadvip, they went to the Kanga and cried out loudly, Hari, Hari,
Hari Hari.
Hari, Hari,
Hari Hari.
So, so this made a very the atmosphere very auspicious for the Lord to appear. And throughout his youth, little Vishwambar Gaura Sundara, he was transcendental trickster, and at the same time he was very learned, very intelligent person. Therefore, he was called Nimai Pandit. He was born after under a neem tree. Therefore, he got the name Nimai. And because he was a great scholar, he got the name Nimai Pandit. And he would challenge all the local people or who were considered to be a little bit learned. They would try to go to another side of the road, but this Nimai Pandit ran after them and started forcefully debating with them. And he, of course, won the debate every time. Then Vishwambar, he got married at one point with Lakshmi Priya, but then Vishwambar started to travel, and Lakshmi Priya was, in the meantime, she left her body because of a serpent of separation with her. And then Vishwambar or Gaura Sundara met his spiritual master Ishwarapuri, who gave this mantra: Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. So first, when Vishwambar or Gaura Sundara, he also got his spiritual name Krishna Chaitanya at that time. So he was asking, what kind of name have you given me? My body is beginning to tremble, and I'm losing my consciousness. So he was feeling symptoms of ecstasy during that time, just chanting the Maha Mantra. And at the same time, at that time, Ishwarapuri also told him that you just need to give up studying the Vedas, just chant this mantra because you are such a fool. I mean, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was the greatest scholar. He could beat anybody in debate. but still his spiritual master said that he's a fool. Just chant Hare Krishna. So he was able to turn different scholars' heads, like Prakasananda Saraswati in Varanasi. Prakasananda Saraswati was a Mayavadi sannyasi, and he was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was able to get him chanting Hare Krishna and appreciating the chanting of the holy names instead of just studying the Vedas, as Prakasananda Saraswati himself suggested Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And also he met Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who was also a Mayavadi, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was able to convince him also about the personal features of the Supreme Lord and the supremacy of Krishna Bhakti. Now, to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed his amazing form of Sri Sadbhuja. Sadbhuja means one with the 6 limbs, and you can see the picture of Sadbhuja over there on the wall. So, Sadbhuja form in Sadbhuja form, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has 6 arms. So on the top arms, they are the arms of Lord Ramachandra, and the middle arms, they are the arms of Lord Krishna holding a flute, and the lowest arms, they are the arms of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu being a sannyasi mendicant. Now there's one verse in Srimad Bhagavatam referring to this. It is very close to this Krishna Varnam Tvisa Krishnam verse. The verse goes, Tyakva Sudustacha Surepsita Rajya Lakshmi Dharmista Arya Vasasaya Dagat Aranyam Mayamrigam Dayita Yepsitam Anvathavat Pande Mahapurusate Charana Ravindam. The prayer goes, O Mahapurusha, I worship your lotus feet. You gave up the association of the goddess of fortune and all her opulence, which is most difficult to renounce and is hankered after by even the great demigods. Being the most faithful follower of the path of religion, you thus left for the forest in obedience to a Brahmana's curse. Out of sheer mercifulness, you chased after the fallen conditioned souls, who are always in pursuit of the false enjoyment of illusion, and at the same time, you are engaged in searching out your own desired object, Lord Shyam Sundara. Now, this verse is referring to the Sadbhuja form in describing 3 different personalities with these particular qualities mentioned here. So Krishna, he left Radharani, but he was missing the association of Radharani and the other gopis, so much so that he was calling out their names in his dreams while he was living in Dwaraka. And Lord Ramachandra was an incarnation which was considered as an exemplary, like perfect human being. And book Ramayana, it begins with one story where King Dasarath, he was out in the forest for hunting, like Kshatriyas sometimes do. And behind one bush, he was hearing some noise and he thought it was a deer. So he shot his arrow through the bush. But on the other side of the bush, there was one Brahmin boy who was collecting water from a lake to his parents. And arrow was deadly, so deadly that Brahmin, that Brahman boy, he wasn't able to maintain his life. The King Dasarath still went to see what was going on the other side of the bush. And this Brahman boy explained that he was collecting water to his parents because his parents were so old and incapable uh, of maintaining themselves. So now they have no helper. So you should go and see them. So King Dasarath went to see his parents, and his parents they complained that now you have killed our son, who is the only helper, only maintainer of our lives. So King Dasarath got cursed at that point that you will also die because of losing your son. So so later on, King Dasarath got Lord Ramachandra as one of his four sons, and he was the most dear son to King Dasarath. And we all know the story how Kaikeyi was just Lord Ramachandra was about to be coronated. Then Kaikeyi, the mother of mother of Bharat, he came forward and was asking for two boons. That Lord Ramachandra will be banished to a forest, and his son, her son, Bharat, was supposed to be needed to be coronated. So King Dasarath had promised these two boons for Kaikeyi, and it was heartbreaking for him to fulfill those boons. But as Lord Ramachandra was a very exemplary personality, he followed this curse of that Brahmin parents, and he went to the forest. And later on, he was chasing after a deer, after a golden deer. It's Ramachandra, when he was banished to the forest, his wife Sita went with him, and Lakshman also. So they saw one golden deer, and then Sita wanted that deer for himself. So Lord Ramachandra was chasing after the deer. And as in this Bhagavatam verse, it was mentioned that you chased after the fallen conditioned souls. So there's a similar sequence of life with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was also cursed by a Brahmana because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't allow one Brahmana to enter his kirtans. This Brahmana cursed him in a cranky mood that you will lose all enjoyment in this material world. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very happy with this curse. For a spiritualist, material happiness is not a good. It will be an obstacle for spiritual progress. So therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very pleased to have this kind of curse. And also, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was actually married second time with Vishnu Priya. Then one night, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just left home. So in this way, he was renouncing the goddess of fortune, and he went to take sannyas, and he was ultimately chasing after the conditioned souls, and chasing, also searching where is his object of the desire, Lord Shyamasundara. In his later stage of life, he was seeing so many, he was falling unconscious and just entering to the pastimes of Krishna. And this way he was searching after Lord Shyamasundara. And there's also a statement from Lord Chaitanya that later on I will send my Senapati Bhakta. So this was word of Lord Chaitanya, that Krishna consciousness, path of bhakti, should be spread all over the world. So he said he was sending his Senapati Bhakta to the world uh, to make his prediction uh, to be fulfilled. And therefore, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada was sent by his own spiritual master to bring us the message of Lord Chaitanya. So that Prabhupada ki Jai!
Jai!
Jai Shri Prabhupada. Jai Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Jai!
So as we are following Srila Prabhupada, we also try to fulfill his desire of spreading Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's message all over the world. So there are three angas to do this traditionally. We do by book distribution. We go on the street to face people on the street and try to give them books about Krishna consciousness. And then another anga is that we try to do Harinam or Nagar Sankirtan. We go out on the streets and chant the holy names of the Lord. And then there is also our secret weapon, Prasadam. So we try to convince people, try to turn people's heads towards Krishna, towards Krishna Bhakti, and make their human lives successful, and give out Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy in this way. Now, I just returned from India, but during my stay in India, I was hearing that there was one happening where devotees from this temple also, they try to encourage all the congregational members to go out and distribute books, and so I was very happy to hear this. And we can also now that the weather is hopefully beginning to become warmer and warmer, we can go out on the street to have a Nagar Sankirtan. And in our social media pages, we are inviting everybody to join on Nagar Sankirtan one day. Like last year, we also had a quite successful turnout on Ratha Yatra festival. So this is also a big occasion where we are going on the streets and trying to give out holy name to people. Try to give Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. There are many more ways in today's day and age, like social media, where we can try to spread Krishna's mercy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's message, and also uh, there are so many people today interested in yoga practices. So on yoga practices, along with yoga practices, we can try to give them yoga philosophy or hold kirtan occasions with yoga people. There's a yearly kirtan festival in Rishikesh. I think it's already closed for this year. I heard that it was from 1st of March to the 20th of March. We have one guru in our movement, Interview Swami, who is uh, doing these kirtan, yoga kirtan festivals in Rishikesh, and they are simply some those yoga practitioners who go to Rishikesh from all over the world. When they go this time, they are able to participate in this kirtan festival. So there are many ways we can try to uh, how we can try to give out Krishna or message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even at least in the form of prasadam. That's very easy approach. Everybody likes to eat. Like we have a festival feast after this program. But I think I can close with this now. I've heard my dry voice long enough. So next program will be Abhishek. So we need a little space here in the front of the altar. We are bathing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu here, and this will be happening along with Kirtan.